Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News at 11 starts now.
We're along 7 Mile last week. Flashing lights and crime scene tape tonight. Tears and candles as family remember 78-year-old Thomas Starks. Coming up, we'll tell you what vehicle police are looking for.
A local school district debating its in-person learning plan.
$1.2 million. What is it going to give us? Is it worth doing all of this conversation and making all these changes?
The changes it has to make or risk losing state funding.
We begin with the city of Detroit set to announce a new Johnson & Johnson vaccine clinic. Mayor Duggan expected to make that new clinic announcement in his State of the City address tomorrow night.
That comes as a new group of Michiganders is now eligible to get the vaccine. Let's get to Mara McDonald live downtown. You talked with the Lieutenant Governor about this vaccine expansion.
We sure did, Devin, and expanding it beyond the 50 and above. And he says the bottom line is supply. It's always been supply, and that supply is starting to ramp up. Let me show you. Today marks the first day anybody 50 and up with certain comorbidities can be vaccinated. That expands to everybody 50 and up this month on March 22nd. So what will it take to expand even further?
What we've always said is as more vaccine starts to come in, we'll be able to expand eligibility more quickly.
And those vaccines are coming. There are now 3 options: Pfizer, Moderna, and Johnson & Johnson. And it's the J&J vaccine that had the Duggan administration making an unforced error last week when the mayor said this.
Johnson & Johnson is a very good vaccine. Moderna and Pfizer are the best. And I am going to do everything I can to make sure the residents of the city of Detroit get the best.
After the Biden administration weighed in on his comments, the mayor clarified the reason the city originally turned down 6,200 doses of the vaccine was because it was still working on how to deploy it.
I think the clarification is important.
Tuesday night, Duggan is expected to announce Detroit's first J&J vaccine site.
We have 3 options in Michigan. All of them work for people. And frankly, anything that says something different than that is just not the truth.
Back here live, the LG echoes what doctors have been telling us. The goal of all 3 of these vaccines and which they meet is preventing death and hospitalizations. We're live downtown tonight at the Spirit of Detroit. I'm Mara McDonald, Local 4.
Really boils down to that as being the keys. All right, Mara, you can watch Mayor Duggan's State of the City address here on Local 4, and we'll stream it on clickondetroit.com. Live coverage begins tomorrow evening at 7 p.m. Now, tonight, the CDC has new guidelines for Americans who are fully vaccinated. Also, Michigan is reporting the first case of a different COVID variant.
Michigan's first case of the South African variant has been found in Jackson County. A boy there tested positive for the more contagious strain of the virus. Overall, the state reports 1,960 new cases and 4 more deaths over the past 2 days. Meanwhile, Governor Whitmer tells WJR she would like workers to start returning to offices before a ban on in-person work expires next month. And the CDC now says those who are fully vaccinated can gather in small groups without wearing masks or social distancing. They can also be around those who are considered low risk for COVID without a mask.
With more and more people getting vaccinated each day, we are starting to turn a corner. And as more Americans are vaccinated, a growing body of evidence now tells us that there are some activities that fully vaccinated people can resume at low risk to themselves.
The CDC defines fully vaccinated as 2 weeks after the last required dose. Right now, about 10% of Americans are fully vaccinated.
State legislature has put some school districts in a tough spot. 2 pieces of legislation passed last week offering additional funding for schools that offer at least 20 hours of in-person instruction.
The ones who don't are now scrambling to decide if it's worth it to reroute their plans on a dime. Jason Colthorpe is live tonight with one such district trying to pull this off on the fly. Jason.
As if school boards' jobs right now weren't tough enough, right? Well, the West Bloomfield School District had a plan and was prepared to stick to it, a hybrid plan for students for the rest of the year. Well, now they have a shot at more than $1 million, possibly. So tonight, that led to a frank discussion at the school board meeting about whether it would be worth it to scrap all of that and change things up. Listen. The potential loss of $1.2 million in additional funding forced the West Bloomfield School Board to discuss increasing in-person learning to 20 hours a week for students. It's a position Superintendent Gerald Hill does not appreciate.
Personally, I think it's unconscionable that the legislature is using that money as a wedge and not just giving it like it was intended to. But that's not where we live. We're living with the reality of the legislature being the legislature.
After discussing issues of reducing class sizes at the elementary level, busing changes, and certain schedule shuffling for middle and high school students, and much more, President Stacey Brickman had this question.
Is it worth doing all of this conversation and making all these changes for $1.2 million?
It gives us resources to respond to some of the concerns that board members have expressed tonight. Concerns related to mental health, concerns related to addressing students' learning issues that have developed over the course of the pandemic.
I want to return the children to school because it's the best thing for their education. And it has, for me, it has nothing to do with $1.2 million.
Parents sounded off on both sides.
It's only $1.2 million. What's it worth it? It's not about the money. It's about the best education for our kids.
We can't be bought. And I just factored it. You're talking about less than 2% of your budget.
Yeah, teachers really preaching that this would lead to chaos. And by the way, the board meeting wrapped up right before we went on air after 4.5 hours. Some board members sharing why they were upset about all of this. They don't like being put in this position. They didn't vote on this tonight. They're going to have they're trying to gather more information. They'll probably have an emergency meeting later this week. We'll let you know how that goes. In the meantime, back to you.
So what happened? Is the money guaranteed? Do you know?
That's a good question. No, it's not. It's the governor hasn't signed this yet, and even if she does, there are some questions about what could happen afterwards. Would it be all of what they say? Could it be tied to other bills, other pieces of legislation? There's still a lot of questions with that as well.
Yep. Okay. Jason, thanks.
Family and friends gathered on the west side tonight to honor the life of a 78-year-old great-grandfather who was killed in a hit-and-run last week.
Thomas Starks was crossing 7 Mile when he was hit by a car. Tim Pamplin was at tonight's vigil for an emotional tribute to his life.
At 7 Mile in Hayden, Detroit's northwest side, a memorial to a much-loved family man, 78-year-old Thomas Starks.
My dad is a good guy. Brother Starks was a champion. He was an overcomer. He beat all kind of illnesses to be crossing the street and somebody to take him out. It hurt so bad.
Mr. Starks beat cancer, an autoimmune disease, and several strokes, but he didn't stand a chance last Tuesday evening when a Dodge Charger came screaming down 7 Mile, hit him, and carried on going.
If somebody just take him senseless, just leave him in the street like a dog, it's just so bad.
Here's Mr. Starks a couple of months ago at a family wedding. At 78, he wasn't slowing down. These are the sort of memories his family's holding on to this evening as they hold a vigil at the site of the collision. His children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren all consoling each other this evening and remembering the good times. Mr. Starks came up from Alabama 50 years ago, came to look for a better life in the North, worked for Detroit Diesel for many years, and raised a loving family. As family are looking for peace, Detroit police are looking for the car and driver that killed this man. They tell us it's a 2020 white Dodge Charger Scat Pack, a high-performance vehicle, top speed 175 miles an hour. The one they're looking for will have heavy front-end damage.
I just want justice for my dad.
So as family release dozens of balloons in remembrance of their loved one, Detroit police are asking if you know the whereabouts of that vehicle, please do give them a call. In Northwest Detroit tonight with the night cam, Tim Pamplin, Local 4.
All right. Okay, Tim, thanks. Police downriver are investigating after a newborn is found dead inside a bag. The body was found over the weekend in a wooded area behind a building on Fort Street near Goddard Park in Lincoln Park. Police are hoping to find the mother soon as they look into the circumstances surrounding the death of her child.
Today, Governor Whitmer responding to the $4 billion supplemental budget passed last week by the GOP-led legislature. Part of the relief package tied federal aid for schools, with Governor Whitmer giving up emergency powers.
My legislature, who is Republican controlled, is trying to hold those dollars back and trying to push me to relinquish executive powers that I've used to save lives. They know that's never going to happen, and it's just really sad.
But this is a governor who simply wants to behave in an authoritarian fashion. As she talks about wanting to work with other people, every opportunity that has been presented has been rejected. Working together with this governor means simply complying.
Governor still hasn't said what parts of the plan, if any, she will sign into law.
Still ahead, a driver leads police on a chase through a Macomb County community.
He crashed out. He crashed out. He crashed out.
What officers found inside the driver's car after he lost control and crashed. Ben, it's still, I believe, 50 degrees outside.
Yeah, Devin, hard to believe at 11 o'clock in early March, we are still looking at temperatures that are above our average high for the day. And we've got more 60s to go before the weekend. We'll look at when they're going to show up coming up.
Okay, Ben, but first, the House set to vote on President Biden's massive COVID relief plan this week. How soon the next round of stimulus checks could be sent out? Next.